तो बस अपना पढ़ते गया एंड एग्ज़ाम दे दिया तो आ गया।
रैंक 1 का सपना मैंने ऐसे नहीं देखा था, पर हाँ ये जरूर था जो भी देना है अपना बेस्ट देना है।
मैं कभी सोच के नहीं रखा था कि रैंक 2 आएगा मेरा।
मेरा मानना ये है कि सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट होता है कि आप अपना बेस्ट वर्जन बनो।
एक प्रॉपर बैलेंस और एक प्रॉपर शेड्यूल, दैट इज द मोटो।
So dear students, we continue with non-economic or non-commercial activities. So basically social activities, religious, cultural, sentimental. So all these activities undertaken would be non-economic or non-commercial activities. The output is ascertainable in case of economic activity. Can you ascertain the output of love? Can you count it? No. But when you do a economic activity, let's say you are a teacher, you are paid salary as per the attendance. You are a worker, you are paid per piece of what you manufacture. So it is, the output can be calculated. So this is very easy. So we had already discussed same activity, a mother preparing food. That activity can be economic, can be non-economic. How do we judge? We judge it by the intention. If we summarize it, non-economic activities, if we just simply summarize, love and affection, personal satisfaction, physical needs like morning walk, etc., religious obligations, social obligations, during earthquake, during floods, or helping your neighbor. So these are all social obligations. And then the love for the country, patriotism. So all these are non-economic activities. Examiners, they generally ask you the difference between commercial activities and non-commercial activities. So what are the basic differences? So commercial, we know, earn living, make wealth. Here it is sentimental, it is emotional, this is for personal satisfaction. We expect money in commercial activities. No expectation of money. Why? Because personal satisfaction. See, we work and it is directly attributable to money. Why are we working? We are working for money. So, whatever activities we are doing for money. But in non commercial activities, it is not related to income, and we can add one more word, wealth. The activity can be measured in money, it cannot be. When you are doing a commercial activity, you follow the rational approach. Rational approach is cost benefit analysis. Here it is love, and in love you do not measure the cost. So it is guided by sentiments. Proper allocation of scarce resources. Is essential. Here, non essential. So, a businessman, a professional, and a person in employment, they all fall under commercial activities. Here, basically, you are a family person. You do lot of sacrifice. You are a religious person. You do cultural activities. So, dear children, these are the basic differences. Now we study types of commercial activities. Business, profession, employment. So, commercial activities, you can also use the word occupations. So, occupation can be business, occupation can be profession, occupation can be employment. So, what exactly do you mean by occupation? Where is your mind occupied? So, mind can be occupied in business, mind can be occupied in professional services, mind can be occupied in employment. So, they all work for money, but businessmen, they call it profit, professional people they call it fee, employment people they call it salary. But what are they all getting? They are all getting money. because it is a commercial activity. Once more, when we talk about business, can we safely say business we mean production? After production, it is exchange of goods and services. And why do we exchange? The idea is to earn profit. So this is what we explained about business once more. So the organization who are carrying on the business, they are known as business enterprises. Okay. Or can we also call them business firms? Yes, you may. Now the person who is doing business, he is often called as businessman. So these are very simple. Now these business people, they create utilities. Okay. So what are the various utilities they create? What exactly do you mean by utilities? Making goods more valuable or more useful. So form utility, you convert the form, this is a wood, you make it into a table or a chair. So you change the form and this becomes, now this wood is more valuable, more useful. So form utility. Place utility. You create the cricket bat in Kashmir, transport to all over India. So this is place utility. Not only the bat is available in Kashmir but also in Kolkata. So place utility, you can also write, this is basically transportation, and you transport from the place of production to the place of consumption. To get marks, you need to write from the place of production, the transportation is carried on to the place of consumption. So if it is a cricket bat, and if it is needed all over India, it is consumed all over India. So transportation helps. Now dear students, you tell me, transportation helps creating place utility. So I'm going very slow, you can increase the speed to 1.5x or 2x. Next is time utility. Cold storage, warehouses, they store the goods. So potatoes which we got by the farmers in the month of January, we kept it into cold storage and we used it in the month of September. So basically from January to September, these potatoes did not lose their value, which means time utility was created. So all these are part of business activities. So when we talk about business activities, we have seen the role of factory, we have seen the role of transportation, we have seen the role of warehousing, we have seen the role of banking. So we've also seen the role of insurance, we've also seen the role of, let's say, advertising. So these are all related to production activities. After production, you need to sell or basically reach your target consumers. But there is something called direct services. What do you mean by direct services? If I go to a tailor, if I go to a barber, so these are direct services. If I go to a beauty parlor, so these are direct services. Basically, what do we mean by direct services? Direct services does not involve, they do not involve transportation, they do not involve warehousing, they do not involve banking, they do not involve insurance, they do not involve, okay, some sort of advertisement is definitely there, but this is a direct service. So these are direct services, tailor, barber, or beauty parlor. So, shall we also call these direct service providers as business enterprises? Of course, of course, though they are small in nature, small business enterprises, okay, but they are also business enterprises. But these days, Javed Habib, he is not a small business enterprise. So he has distributed franchisee. So we can simply call them business enterprises as well. So once more, business activity, they do it for profit. We know this. Business activity, they use the scarce resources. Business activities, acha, what are the scarce resources, dear children? Land, labor, capital. So basically, these business organizations, don't forget what they do is they simply satisfy the needs of families. Of general public. And by satisfying the needs, people procure or purchase or buy. So this way business flourishes. But they face competition also, because if I need a phone, there are various companies willing to satisfy the need of a phone. Now, dear students, we come to profession. So, profession basically is specialized knowledge and skills. This specialized knowledge and skill they also acquire for livelihood. Like a doctor, ultimately doctor will charge you fee. But generally the motto is service motto. In case of professionals, no extreme profit motto or profit motive. So please keep in mind it's all about service motto. Okay, do we have also undergo transportation and all everything? No, these are personal services. These are personal services. Again, specialized in nature. You go to a dentist, he is specialized. You go to a cardiologist, he is specialized. You go to a CA, he is specialized. You go to a CS, he is specialized. Okay, he or she. Why do we call specialized? Why? Because professional education has been provided to them. Only professional education plus practical training. This is very, very important. They receive professional fee, which was discussed earlier. So if we sum up, so when we discuss about professionals, what are the main features? So main feature, specialized body of knowledge. What do we mean by specialized body of knowledge? Let's say ICAI, ICSI, Medical Council of India. So they are all specialized body. You pass your examination and you have to become a member. These members, they need to follow code of conduct. Code of conduct issued by these institutions. So formal training is a part. Formal training. After formal training, they get professional qualification. Like a doctor is called MBBS. Okay. So this is a professional qualification. Anybody can become a doctor? No. So it is a restricted entry. You need to pass examinations. Then it is a professional association. Basically, all the people who pass the examinations, they register as members. These are statutory bodies. Statutory bodies means framed by government under parliaments. The motto is service motive. They need to follow code of conduct. We also call it formal code of conduct. So the last form is employment. So is employment an economic activity? The answer would be yes. So what exactly is the activity? People work for others in exchange for some remuneration. So the people who work for others, they are called employees, and the people for whom they work, they are called employers. I think it is absolutely clear. So remuneration can also be simply called, if they are working in a factory, what they get, they call it as wage. If they are working in an office, what they get money, they call it salary. So these are the technical terms. Actually what they get is money, but factory person, they get it by the name of wage. Office people, they get it by the name of salary. So now this employee, what does he do? Basically work assigned by his senior. So work assigned is very, very important. So as per their qualification, and there is an agreement between employer and employee. So the work to be performed is guided by this agreement. So this agreement is very, very important. In case of any dispute, they will refer to the agreement which they had created. Now this agreement can be oral, or this agreement can be in writing. What is preferable? Of course, writing agreement is preferable. But if it is oral and if it is recorded, then it is fine. You can refer to the recording. So the employee, his actions, or he acts. So he acts under employer or employer's instructions. So now this employer can be a government organization. This employer can be a private organization. So if you are working in a police, you're working in railways, you're working in public sector units, PSUs, they all fall under government. Now, a CA, a doctor, a CS, they are professionals. But these professionals can also work as employees. So, a doctor working in Apollo Gleneagles, so he is working as an employee. So, it is possible. A chartered accountant working as an employee, that means he is not taken certificate of practice, he is not a practicing chartered accountant. So basically, dear students, now we have come to the final level, distinction. So distinction between business, profession and employment. So examiner's favorite. If you know the concept, you will not face any issues at all, and I'm very sure you have understood the concepts quite well. So we know business, they want to earn profits. So profession, basically they give service for a fee. They also act under employer to get salary or wage. Do you need qualification? No qualifications is required. Here you need a professional qualification. Here it will depend on the job. Basically here we know कि we need to produce, and then we need to sell and exchange. Here it is providing specialized service. Here the work assigned to him or her. So businessman, he is his own master. He is not working under anyone. He is working as per the guidelines of his institute. And here he is working under the instruction of his master or employer. So I think it's quite easy for you all to follow. Reward. So the reward is profit. The reward is professional fee. The reward would be wage or salary. Risk, high risk, because high capital is involved. If you face a loss, you lose a lot of money. Now you are selling your skill, so the risk is negligible. Here there is no risk at all. You are giving your time and you are paid for your time. So capital involvement is adequate or huge. Here generally you need to just set up your office. So limited capital. Here basically no capital. Huge advertisement. Here advertisement is prohibited. No advertisement allowed. you are not needed. How efficient your activity is, how will you determine which activity is really good? So, how to determine? Profit will determine in case of business. Your quality of service, that will make huge clients, more fee. More client, more fee. Here, how productive you are. Are you working or are you sleeping? So basically, the more productive, you are more efficient. So government regulation you need to follow. Here you are followed by professional guidelines, and here you are guided by terms of employment. Terms. Finally, we come to the last point, dear students. Business can be transferred. But can a doctor transfer his degree to his son? No, not possible. Can I transfer my job to someone else? Generally, not possible. So, dear students, we come to end of chapter 1. I love you all. Any query, please do call 9830175050. You may also call this number to purchase full course. Thanks.